Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have Harry Chapin, Cats in the Cradle.
You're going to be a fan of this one because it's got cats in the song title.
Yes, I don't know who Harry Chapin is though. I've never heard of him. Have
That
you?
makes two of us. I do not know who he is
familiar.
either. And apparently this was his most popular song.
Yeah, and
But-
this came from the comments,
Huh?
suggestions. This came from the comments, suggestions.
Yeah. And you guys were suggesting that we get to this one, so that's how we've arrived. If you have any other suggestions for any of his music, let us know as well. I think, unfortunately, he died pretty early on in his career. In 1981, he was in a car accident, I believe.
So sad.
Which is unfortunate, to say the least. And before we get started, we got a little pop quiz question for you. And what is that, Sam?
Who wrote this song with Harry Chapin?
Yeah. Combined, it was a little duo, and it was special for
Penning the song.
special for some reason. Let us know why that is. Anyways, I'm ready to check out some Harry Chapin. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, and he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. Said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then.
These songs always blow me away in the storytelling sense because they go so fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're already halfway through?
I know. Because it's like you get so invested in the song, like in the story, that you don't realize how fast
Well, I
it's
mean, if
going.
you're a good storyteller, that is. But
Yes.
clearly, we've come across a lot of them thus far in our journey, and
Yeah.
this is included in that.
Yeah, crazy that we're already almost 2 minutes into this. What?
Yeah, and so it seems like we're getting the father-son relationship dynamic here.
Yep.
Right? And we're talking about the father seemingly doesn't have time,
It's busy.
to spend with the son, but the son has not been negatively or adversely affected thus far,
It seems like he's looking up to him, like, oh, I want to be just like you.
knowing how storytelling songs tend to go. Doesn't always end in a positive fashion, so I'm a little bit
We will
concerned
see where
here.
this goes.
But the music is great. I really love how strong the bass line is in this.
Yeah.
For this storytelling vibe, I'm really not accustomed to this heavy hitting bass line.
Yeah, I also feel like his vocal clarity is so good on this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just really focused on his vocal in the story.
Yeah, it's interesting too because it's got like, you know what? It reminds me of Don McLean a little bit.
Yeah.
Where Don McLean's got a great vocal, but he's great at storytelling at the same
Yes,
time.
yeah.
We've had other people that we've done on the channel which maybe lack in one versus the other,
Yeah,
right?
like the story is good, but the vocal doesn't stand out, or the
Yeah.
vocal's good, but it's kind of hard to hear what they're saying in the story.
Yeah, but this one, he's got both.
Yeah. No, I would totally agree with that.
And the
Like, I'm
hook's
just
great,
so.
too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The background instrumentation and the music there is definitely bringing value there, but I feel like I'm just so focused on what he's saying.
Yeah, I think the instrumentation obviously picks up during the chorus as well, right? It
Yeah.
gets more vibrant and the
Yeah.
chorus sticks out, which would make it be, probably as popular as it was
Yeah.
because it's still got a great hook and makes it really catchy at that point, right? But then you come back to the story, okay, where are we going next?
Yeah.
So with that said, you ready to find out where we're going next?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. Well, he came from college just the other day, so much like a man I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you, can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. I've long since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said, I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids are the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me.
Wow.
My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. We're gonna have a good time there.
Sheesh. What a fantastically written song.
Yeah. How crazy how it all came together like that in the
Coming full circle and doing it in a perfect way with those lyrics. I'm going to be just like you.
Yeah.
Dad, I'm going to be just like you. And he's a
Yeah.
kid, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. And he turns out to be just like
like his
him
dad.
in the end when he didn't have any time for his dad, as his dad didn't have time for him when he was a young lad. And
Yeah.
I also like, I just said the word dad. I also liked how he used the word dad in the bar that he had. He said the lyrics and then just paused for a second and said dad.
Yeah.
And it just fit in so perfectly and
Yeah,
kind of
like the
added
timing.
some wholesomeness to the song in a really great way. Really painting the picture, obviously, fantastically. Telling the story, providing a great message with it as well, right? In that...
Yeah. Gotta make time for the ones that you love.
Right, because it's not going to wait for you.
It's almost like a flip of authority. Like when you're a little kid and you just want attention from your parents, or your parents' time and your parents' love. Your parents are so busy thinking in their head like they're trying to provide for you and they're trying to do things for you, and that takes the priority. But they're the figure of authority saying no, 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 right? Whereas then when you get older, it's like, well, now your parents are retired and they don't have as much to do and as much on their plate, and now they want to be the ones to have your time. But now you're the one being like, no, I'm too busy. I have things to do. I have to provide for my family or whatever. And then that chain just kind of gets passed on and passed on, right?
Yeah, it's a cycle of life, unfortunately, right? We're all a part of it, and everybody gets busy at certain points. Like you said, you're a part of a family, and then you tend to go and create your own family, and then you've got to put time and effort into making sure that is got the foundations that it needs.
Yeah.
But I think it highlights an important part in the song that the lyrics were, "We'll make time then."
Yeah.
Right, but that never came to be.
Yeah, and I think this is common for a lot of things in life, right? Like, oh, I'll be happy when, I'll do this when, we'll make time when, and it's always later, always when the next, the next possibility comes up where it's like, if you could just embrace that in the moment now.
Yeah, well, I think I've always tried to make it a point to make time for important, things in your life that do matter. But at the same time, it's not just about time in the respect of how much there is. It's about the quality of it rather than the
100%,
quantity
the intentionality behind it. Yeah.
Right. So if you make the time to, go play catch or whatever it is with your son, it's like really being in the moment and spending that time together.
Yeah, 100%.
Where in today's world, you get distracted. There's so many distractions. Like you're standing with your son or your daughter or your parents or whatever, and you're there with them, but you're sitting on your phone,
Yeah,
right? You're not
100%.
actually present in that moment. So I think, yes, making the time is important, but making the effort to make sure that time is used in the right way is also important. But I think all in all, Harry Chapin did a great job with this song. I loved
agreed.
it.
That was good.
And the other thing I was going to mention too, I forgot, was that I think he did a great job in changing his voice subtly when he got a little older. You heard him say the lyrics a little bit differently because he's older now. So he's telling the story, he's an adult still, but then he's getting, into his senior age, and his voice changes to highlight a different section in the story, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, even when he was, are you saying from the perspective of the dad or the son?
Perspective of the dad.
Yes, even with the son, I feel like he did that too.
Yeah.
Like he was talking almost like, not like a kid, but like more of like a child. Like,
Yes.
And then
In the
more
beginning,
of
you're
like a man,
saying.
yeah, towards the end because he's in college and growing up and whatever.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys think about this song, because I thought it was fantastically done. Musicianship, storytelling, everything, whole package on this one.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. He did a great job.
Yeah, and before we go, we got to give you that answer that we asked you in the beginning, right, Sam?
Yes, yeah. So we said, who wrote this song with Harry Chapin? And he wrote it together with his wife, Sandy.
That's right.
And it's actually based on a poem that she had written.
Yeah, which is pretty cool
Yeah.
that you wrote it with your significant other.
Yeah.
And so you guys can let us know about any more details related to this song. We always appreciate your insights. We love learning on the channel. That's how we've grown so much when we look back over the past 18 months. It's pretty
Yes.
wild to see where we came from.
How far we have come.
Yeah, and we want to continue growing, and we'd love to have you on a part of the journey as a part of the journey we're on right now, and that's hitting the subscribe button is what you're gonna have to do if you want to join us. Before you go, what else do they got to do?
Gotta make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos moving forward.
Yeah, hit us a thumbs up too.
Yes.
Don't forget that, and come back tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.